Cool. Hey, bud. I
You keep
thought I thought what? What?
you keep putting up these color images. You're trying to be provocative.
I no, I'm trying to get you to throw up. And this was, I thought this would be especially good because it's like in your face color. Look at you. You can't even look at it. All that noise. All that. Hey, you know what we haven't done for a while? A quote.
A quote.
Especially quotes from musicians.
Ah,
I
well,
think
I just,
you put
I,
one in our notes the other day. Pull up that Adam Duritz quote from the Counting Crows.
I just happen to have a
Oh,
music quote.
wow. You might think we scripted this.
Okay. You have heard people say this a million times where they're doing something they really like and then it gets hard. And they're like, it wasn't fun anymore. That's the line that divides artists from people with hobbies, because hobbies are fun and they should be. Art can be enjoyable, but it's not supposed to be fun. That's not the deal. That's not what it's about. I mean, it's great if it's fun, but it's not going to be fun all the time. And it's hard and it should be hard. And you're going to be miserable and hate it at times, or just hate the experience, not the thing, because it's real. It's your whole life, and that's different.
Mm, mm,
Duritz, Counting Crows. Yeah, I
wow.
like that because we talked about the continuum, and
Yep.
kind of on the left, the photographer is kind of, it could be the hobbyist photographer,
Yep.
and people love it just because it's technical and
Fun.
it's something to do. It's fun. It's a hobby.
Yep.
But we're trying to be at the other end of the continuum, and we're hoping that some of what we say resonates with people, and they want to move themselves over a little to the right.
And it is harder.
It is harder. It's much harder.
The further you move to the right, the harder it is. And I mean, I hardly consider myself a songwriter, but I have written a dozen songs that I am proud of and that I would play, and I have played for a number of people. But man, try to ask me to write a song today, it is hard. Lyrically, specifically, to come up with meaningful lyrics, it's hard. And so is photography at times, especially when you're trying to make personally expressive photography or photographs or images, whatever you want to call them. It's because there are days when I come home and I go, I just want to throw all my camera gear away. Nothing happened for me that day. I remember you telling a story recently where some days, you were talking about your attitude, I think, on a previous show, where you realized that you went to the same place two different times. On one day, you couldn't make squat. You didn't even want to be there. And then the next time you went back, it was like they were everywhere. That's the hard in my mind. It's being able to get into that headspace where you can create, where you can allow the lyrics to the song to happen, if you will.
Well,
So
we had
hard.
people on the retreat who said, I had a vision of what I wanted to do. And then they thought the hard part was executing it. And my reaction was the execution's the easy part. You can learn any technique.
Yeah.
The idea is the hard part, the vision.
Amen. Absolutely. Yeah. Getting in touch with it. You know, hopefully this is okay. What you want to say. That's a common expression. What are you trying to say with this photograph? But yeah, getting in touch with all that stuff is the hard part. You're right. Oh crap, how do I get that vignette in the sky? Well, that's easy. We can teach you that. But knowing that you wanted to do that and that was part of your vision for that photograph, that's where you're starting to make progress.
Yeah,
So
I've got people who will see an image, say the ghost image, and they'll say, how did you do that? And I'll share it with them. And they then think, man, I'm all set now to do ghosts.
yeah,
That's the wrong attitude. They ought to be saying, where did that idea come from? And how can I have ideas like that?
yeah,
And where do I get my vision so I can have these ideas?
yeah. So again, our appeal is hopefully toward those in the middle of that spectrum over, trying to make personally expressive images, or dare I say, art. Another good thought. Thanks for sharing. And those are great feet. Do those feet belong to somebody in your family?
My wife and brother in law.
Hey, by the way, somebody did find, you know who did? Dennis wins a prize. Dennis from the retreat.
Yeah.
He watched long enough, and he wrote me a note and says,
Oh,
"Acorns or walnuts?" with a big question mark. And I wrote back and said, "You win a prize."
yeah.
You guys
That's
who are listening now, go figure it out.
yeah.